Fun 107, Michael and Maddie. It is Wednesday morning, February 28th, 2024. It was on this date 41 years ago that MASH televised their series finale. The episode was 2 hours long. 106 million people watched, and it's still the highest rated scripted TV episode in television history. More than Seinfeld, more than Cheers, more than Game of Thrones. 26 years ago, Celine Dion had the number one song here at Fun 107. Titanic's My Heart Will Go On topped the charts for weeks and weeks and weeks here at Fun 107. Spotlight had a big night at the Academy Awards 7 years ago.
Take me to the Boston Globe on Morrissey Boulevard. Don't take 93, take Dorchester Avenue.
The movie about the Boston Globe breaking open the Catholic Church scandal won for Best Picture. 4 years ago, the State Department told Americans to avoid non-essential travel. Fun 107, Michael and Maddie and Kelly Bates from ABC6 is calling for a rainy day today. We're going to see some wind, too, some strong winds. We already saw them come through starting last night. I'm not sure if they were awakened at all by some of those wind gusts. Mm-hmm. But, going to be a rainy day today here in the South Coast.
Bringing your taste of Hollywood right here to the South Coast. And we are here for it. We're spilling the tea with Maddie's Entertainment Update on Fun 107.
So a disappointing announcement from Adele last night. She is postponing her Weekends with Adele Las Vegas residency through the end of March so she can recover from an illness. She says, I was sick at the end of the last leg and all the way through my break. Hadn't quite gotten over, the chance to get back to full strength before the shows resumed. And now Adele says she's sick again. And unfortunately, it has taken a toll on her voice, she says. So on doctor's orders, she has no choice but to rest the voice thoroughly. The remaining 5 weekends of this leg are being postponed to later dates. She says, we are already working out the details and you will be sent the information ASAP. I love you, says Adele. I'll miss you like mad and I'm sorry for the inconvenience. She was like right in that middle of that final set of dates at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace when she made that announcement. This is not the first time she's been, she's had vocal troubles. She also had, towards the end of COVID, she really pushed off a lot of those shows. So, she's having issues, I guess, with the live performances, but got to care for that voice, Adele.
Big time.
That's the moneymaker.
COVID was a big part of that. Big time. When I got COVID, my voice in general, never mind the singing part, the voice is just like crumpled. Whatever that virus was, definitely attacks the throat. It's so crazy.
So she is, hesitantly postponing these dates and, going to get back at it as soon as she possibly can. So if you are a fan of the Jurassic Park movies, the newest one, Jurassic World, they're going to start shooting this new Jurassic World movie on July 31st.
Almost there.
They're still working on a cast, okay? And as a matter of fact, I believe they're still working on the end of the script, too. But they're going to get it done by July 31st of this year. Because they're going to start shooting in L.A. The latest movie should really be a fresh take on the Jurassic Park universe because no Chris Pratt. He's not expected to return. Same with Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern. They're out.
That's the whole cast.
I know.
All 3 of them right there.
But it's going to have a new feel. Some of the names being kicked around I think you might like.
Okay.
Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
From Breaking Bad.
Big time, yes.
That's a big name.
He belongs in him. He belonged in the first one.
Yeah, that's a really good fit. And there's another actress here. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of her or not. Jenna Ortega.
Oh, I think I have.
Yeah.
Wow.
So our homegirl is being looked at for Jurassic World. What a career it was just completely sparked from this Finest Kind movie here in New Bedford.
Big time.
And she has not looked back. So that would be amazing. She's going to be in the Beetlejuice movie, this Jurassic World. So this is going to be Awesome.
There's some
for
big
her.
stuff coming up. Yeah.
They are hoping for a 4th of July weekend release next summer.
Okay.
So that should be kind of cool to look forward to. This is nuts. So trying to sift through this information when it really broke yesterday morning. And we're finding out more about some accusations being made against Diddy that will make you cringe. So he has a former producer and businessman accusing him of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and, quote, grooming.
Oh, come on.
Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer and videographer for Diddy, filed a civil complaint in New York federal court this week saying that he worked for and traveled with Diddy between 2022 and last year. And while he was collaborating with Combs, there were a list of allegations, including the fact that, first of all, he didn't even pay him. He didn't compensate him for his music producing work, forced him to interact with prostitutes,
Come on.
threatened him and served alcoholic beverages laced with drugs to guests at parties at Diddy's home, and then a list of some big names like the Universal Music Group CEO, the Motown CEO, Diddy's son, Justin, who's an adult, accused of soliciting prostitutes and underage girls to attend parties at Diddy's house. This is shady stuff.
Big time. But
So-
never thought it would come from him either.
No, and there've been a number of different rumors and accusations over the past couple of weeks, from B2K and stuff like that. So I don't know. There's a lot going on here, a lot to unpack. But this guy is looking for $30 million.
Come on.
So there's some pretty serious allegations here, and we'll kind of keep an eye on that.
He's
for
like
you.
the next Kevin Spacey. If you think about it, I mean,
Well, there are accusations at this point. We have to see what the evidence brings. But if any of this is true, it's certainly disappointing. More entertainment news on the Fun 107 here this morning, and it's going to be a windy day today. So we're going to see some wind blowing through.
kept me up last night. I'll tell you that much.
It was loud yesterday for sure. So we got a chance to visit Greater New Bedford Voc yesterday, and we'll get to that in a second. We had a meeting there. We had some other things going on, but walked by once again the restaurant that they've got there.
We've been.
What is it called?
Oh,
The
who knows?
Lighthouse something. I don't know, but it was
Definitely Lighthouse something.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's brand new. They rebranded everything.
Yeah, it looks terrific.
Really, really nice. They got this nice little pastry display that she says is usually packed. They were preparing it when we were walking by, so nothing was really filled in there. But espresso machine, can we talk about that for a second? High schools with an espresso machine and coffee maker. I'm jealous.
So apparently we found out that the restaurant is not open to the kids.
Yes.
The students can't go, but the faculty and staff can go, and
Say it.
the public can go.
Awesome.
So little hidden gem there at Greater New Bedford Voc Tech. The next time you're looking to get some lunch, this is an option. And the prices are ridiculous.
One thing I didn't ask is, do you have to have a reservation? Because it's like you walk up to the school. Do you just say, hey, I'm here for lunch? Or do you say, hey, reservation for 4? Do you know
Like
what I'm saying?
up in the lobby?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit more better, but it's just, we've had the food there. I think the last time I had it was like ahi tuna tacos.
No, it's legit.
really good stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe, so our good buddy Henry Bousquet is running the program there. I believe the kids are cooking.
No, they are.
They are.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
And they learn the business of it, like the business side and the food side. So it's a great program over there at Greater New Bedford Voc Tech. And if next time you're looking to go out to lunch,
Yeah.
think about them. You're helping the kids because they actually are conducting business and learning how to run the place as a business.
How many times you see a restaurant constantly looking, help needed, chefs needed, please, we need cooks,
Yeah.
shut down for today because we don't have a cook.
Yep.
This is the program that every school needs, to be honest with you.
It's great. So, again, think about it next time you are going out for lunch, and you'll be helping the kids and eating great, too. And we're going to let you know why we were at Vogue coming up in a few minutes here on Michael and these teachers on the job and honoring them the way they should be honored. And we couldn't do it without our partners in all this. Primacare, First Citizens Federal Credit Union, Bay State Movement Academy, Bay State Gymnastics, and A&M Driving School, all helping us honor these amazing teachers out there. And we also need you to let us know about them. So make sure you get on to the Fun 107 app and make a nomination today. But yesterday, it was Mrs. Martin's Day at Greater New Bedford Voc Tech. Maddie, myself, Gazelle, we went in and, well, we surprised her because I don't think she was expecting this.
Hi, how you doing? We just wanted to interrupt real quick. I hope you don't mind. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Do you mind if we interrupt just for a second?
You guys know what's going on. Who wrote something in the Fun 107?
Wow. So you had over a dozen nominations. So we're just going to read two. Okay. Two. Go ahead, Michael.
So Mrs. Martin, she has shown dedication to her students for 18 total years. She truly loves her students. She refuses to miss a day if she doesn't have to. She shows up and puts in her work. She will always be the first person to make sure you are okay if you're going through a tough time. And she will make sure that her students are taken care of.
Are you recording, my friend?
She is one of the most selfless people when it comes to people that she cares about. She wants her students to be the best that they can, and she makes sure that they get opportunities and the support that they need. Give her the recognition that she deserves for being the best teacher out there. That's one.
That's only one. Okay, so Mrs. Martin has been one of the most supportive teachers I've had throughout my 11 years of school. She's always there when you need someone to talk to, need a hug, or just need a laugh. She's always capable of making her students smile no matter what they're learning. She works on behalf of the student body when it comes to things that students find unfair around the school or community, and uses her platform to inspire and influence others for the better. Overall, I believe Mrs. Martin should be nominated Teacher of the Month simply due to the fact that she has been working her job for over 20 years, on top of being a lawyer. And she comes into work every day with a smile. And that is why, Mrs. Martin, you are Teacher of the Month.
Yay!
I am speechless. I can't believe that the students would nominate me. This is really unexpected. I can't believe it. I'm shocked.
So how long have you been teaching here at Voc?
Well, I've been here for 18 years.
And before that you were, or you still are
I'm
an
a
attorney?
lawyer, yes.
So, I mean, that's a tough thing to do, to leave a law practice to come here and teach. What made you decide to do that?
So when I first started, the New Bedford Voc was looking for a teacher, a person to develop a criminal justice program for students on the high school level. So I decided to take on that challenge because I thought this would be another way for me to pursue my career in a different area. So I took it on, and needless to say, I've been here for 18 years, and I love it. I love working with kids in a different direction than I used to, because I practiced in protective services.
Well, Mrs. Martin, you were nominated over a dozen times. So what would you like to say to your students?
Thank you. I'm speechless.
Aw, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We have a Visa gift card just for you, and we also have a night out just for you, just for being a great teacher.
David's Restaurant on Church Street, New Bedford. There's $50 there and a $200 gift card for you for whatever you'd like.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And there is Mrs. Martin, and definitely deserving that Teacher of the Month award. Big thanks to all our sponsors for helping make that happen. It is 6:56. We've got Phil Devitt standing by in the Charred Oak Tavern newsroom with a look at this morning's headlines.
A staple at New Bedford's Buttonwood Park Zoo has died. Nikki the cougar was euthanized last week after a battle with chronic kidney disease worsened. She was 14. Her companion cougar, Riley, is still at the zoo. Also 14, he too is facing kidney issues. Zookeepers said Nikki will always have a special place in their hearts. 18 months in the Bristol County Jail for a 38-year-old Taunton man who admitted to assaulting his pregnant girlfriend and intimidating her into not talking to prosecutors. 38-year-old Kayvon Ashton assaulted the woman in November. After he serves his time, he'll have another 18 months of probation. Mariners are urged to use caution near Nantucket. New England aquarium researchers spotted 31 21 endangered right whales in the area, which is a shipping lane in and out of Boston. The whales aren't usually in that busy area during the winter months. As a result of the sighting, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has extended the slow zone in the area for all vessels. MIT researchers found the minimum wage in Massachusetts is not keeping up with the cost of living. According to a new study, the minimum wage needs to be about $28 an hour to cover basic needs. That's $6 an hour more than a year ago. The current minimum wage in Massachusetts is $15 an hour. Donald Trump is the winner of Michigan's Republican primary. Trump easily defeated his main rival Nikki Haley in the state Tuesday after winning in her home state of South Carolina last week. Pope Francis visited a hospital in Rome today after skipping a reading at his general audience at the Vatican. The 87-year-old pontiff has been hospitalized a number of times over the past several years. And Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher calling the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, quote, a load of bollocks. Oasis is one of this year's nominees for induction into the Rock Hall, along with Ozzy Osbourne, Foreigner, and other famous rockers. Nominees also include Mariah Carey and hip-hop groups Eric B. and Rakim and A Tribe Called Quest. And that's what triggered the outspoken Oasis singer. He says, as much as I love Mariah Carey and all that, it's like putting me in the Rap Hall of Fame. In sports, the Celtics beat the Philadelphia 76ers last night 117-99. They're at TD Garden to play the Dallas Mavericks Friday. Spring training rolls on for the Red Sox, who play the Washington Nationals today at 1. And the Boston Bruins play the Vegas Golden Knights Thursday. Traffic and weather next. From the Chart Oak Tavern Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 107.
Kisses to my exes, says Tate McRae. It's Fun 107, Michael and Maddie. Speaking of exes, ladies, I want you to listen to this and really do some soul searching as you think about this. Particularly you married ladies, because there is some new research, a new study that is out this morning that says that in 2024, 70% of the women out there in relationships have a backup plan. They've got a backup guy in the back of their head. It's just an idea. They're not acting on it. But in the back of their head, they say, you know, if something ever happens, if we end up getting divorced, I'm going for Billy.
That's unnerving.
It is. It's a little unnerving, right? So listen to this report. And then listen, ladies, I want your honest opinion on this. Let me know. Do you think, is this true? Even if you want, request we can change your voice. Because I really want honesty here. Mm-hmm. Do you have a backup plan in the back of your head? Here's the report so you can listen to what they're saying here.
You're in a relationship. Should you really have a backup plan? There is new research that shows half of all women have a guy on the back burner just in case things go wrong in their current relationship. Dr. Romy, seriously?
This is the latest psychology research. I was just as shocked reading this data. More than half of women who are
happily married women are doing this?
Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've identified.
A person that they've identified. And in most cases, it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
Great.
Wow. So this is the harsh reality. And it's not even close. It's not even like it's 30. It's like 70%. It's a straight up majority of married women out there who feel like this.
That's nuts.
So I'd love to hear, because Maddie's not here today. She got the day off. I would love to know, is this true? Like, just be honest.
Like, all right, you're a married man in your current relationship. How do you feel?
How do I feel about?
How do you feel
about hearing these numbers?
Yeah,
it's unnerving.
But I mean, you got to feel some kind of security. No, I'll tell you right. I am.
No, I don't think that I don't think my wife falls in this category. I don't think she is. But if your wife. If you think, you know what, every guy out there is saying, I don't think my wife falls in this category, but only 30% of them do. Oh, so, man. Like, the likelihood is that your wife does fall in this category. Oh, boy. That's crazy.
I'm the 30%. There's no doubt in my mind. And your wife, too. I highly believe in this room, we are the 30%. No doubt.
508-994-1071. What do you think, ladies? Is this true?
I feel like it depends, like if you're in a long relationship or if you're kind of just looking around. But yeah.
What if you're married?
No, definitely not.
70% of women out there in a relationship have a backup guy. Like if it doesn't work out, in the back of their mind is like the backup quarterback.
No.
Glad that's where you are with that.
Not for me.
All right, thanks for the call. What about you?
I would never do that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even think people would do that. But this generation, people are very different.
People are very different in this generation. Very funny. All right, Carrie's on the line. Good morning, Carrie. What are your thoughts about this?
I do have a backup plan, but my backup plan does not include another man. My backup plan is if my husband was to go before me, I am done.
You're done. You're cashing in the chips.
I'm done. I'm going to just live my life and be on my own because the dating pool is terrible.
Yeah, you got that right. I got lucky. I felt like if I had one more year, it'd be an absolute mess. My wife came into my life at the perfect time.
Yeah, I went out this past weekend to Rose Alley, and I was out with my daughter, who's 25, and I was shocked. I felt so bad, and I understood why she's single.
Wow.
Wow, that's harsh.
She's not wrong, though?
It is. No, it's terrible. I would never want to be out in the dating scene now.
All right.
Ever again.
Thank you, Carrie, very much.
I got one more message that came in here from Jessica on the app. She says her backup plan is adopting more dogs. Men out there are gross and vile this day and age. And if I were to ever get divorced, I would just adopt all the dogs and live happily with the dogs alone with her children.
So, ladies, what do you think about this study? 70% of you ladies, happily married women, say they've got a backup plan. What do you think? Is that true? 508-994-1071. And I want to know who your backup plan is. If you've got a guy in the back of your head, 508-994-1071, or send the audio on the Fun 107 app. We can change your voice if you want us to, and you can keep it anonymous. 90-second news update now. Here comes Phil.
Buttonwood Park Zoo is mourning the loss of a 14-year-old cougar. Nikki was euthanized last week after a battle with chronic kidney disease, marked by changes in appetite and energy recently. The animal care team at the New Bedford Zoo is monitoring another 14-year-old cougar, Riley, who has similar kidney issues. A Taunton man gets 18 months behind bars for assaulting his pregnant girlfriend and intimidating her into not cooperating with prosecutors. 38-year-old Kayvon Ashton pled guilty to the charges stemming from a November incident. The Bristol County District Attorney's Office says Ashton threw the woman on the ground, slapped her, held her down on a bed with his hands around her neck. She was 3 months pregnant with Ashton's child at the time. Ashton faces an additional 18 months of probation. Cases of norovirus are spiking in the Northeast. The CDC said the spread of the highly contagious virus, commonly referred to as the stomach bug, is at its highest level since April of last year. The Boston Herald reports state health officials said it's unclear how many of those cases are in Massachusetts. Experts advise that good hygiene, including regular hand washing, will help slow the spread of the illness, which causes headaches, body aches, fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. Donald Trump easily defeated his main rival Nikki Haley in Michigan's Republican primary Tuesday after winning in her home state of South Carolina last week. While Trump has essentially secured the GOP nomination, Haley has vowed to stay in the race. And a new survey is finding where women in the U.S. can find the best opportunities. Wallet Hub compared the 50 states and Washington, D.C. across 25 key indicators of living standards for women, including median earnings for female workers to women's health care to the female homicide rate. The top performing states were generally in the Northeast, with Massachusetts taking the top spot. In sports, a good night for the Boston Celtics, who beat the Philadelphia 76ers 117-99. Next up, a game at TD Garden with the Dallas Mavericks on Friday. Spring training rolls on with the Red Sox playing the Washington Nationals today at 1, and the Boston Bruins play the Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday. Traffic and weather next. From the Chart Oak Tavern Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun
107, Michael and Maddie. Maddie has the day off today. She is basking in the sunshine down in Orlando as we are dealing with some wind and rain here on the South Coast. What have we done wrong?
At least it's 50. That's not too
guess.
bad. We're in the 50s in the end of February. I mean, what's that saying about our climate? It's not sunshine and palm trees, but at least it's not like bitter, cold, bundle up weather.
Well, I'm still bitter that Maddie's down there in the sunshine covering the MMA.
Well, maybe we can cheer you up.
Well, you know what? That's true. Good point on that. It is Wednesday morning, and that's our favorite. Wet Nose Wednesday time. And we are brought to you this morning by Primacare and by First Citizens Federal Credit Union. And it's time to let you know about Diamond, who is a 1-year-old lab pointer mix living right now at the moment at Forever Paws Animal Shelter in Fall River. But we are looking to get Diamond into a nice home. So she is currently under 50 pounds, which is a good thing because she is convinced that she's a lap dog, even though she's not. A really affectionate sweetheart, really wants to be all over you. Definitely a stage 5 clinger, says everybody down at the shelter. Diamond is really good with other dogs, really good with other cats, and even really great with kids. She previously lived with cats and a toddler, so she's totally used to that. When it comes to other dogs, she definitely needs somebody that can match her energy, says the shelter. So she's kind of a high energy dog. So if you've got like an old man or something at your house, an old man dog, that might not be a great match. Diamond, they call her a goofy girl that'll keep you laughing at all the times. So if Diamond sounds like she could be a good fit for you and your family, she is waking up this morning at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. You can go right online, look them up there, Google them up, Forever Paws Animal Shelter, Fall River, and click Adopt to download the application. Let's get Diamond a home today here on Wet Nose Wednesday. It is time for a look at this morning's headlines. We've got Phil Devitt standing by in the Chart Oak Tavern newsroom.
A staple at New Bedford's Buttonwood Park Zoo has died. Nikki the cougar was euthanized last week after a battle with chronic kidney disease worsened. She was 14. Her companion cougar, Riley, is still at the zoo. Also 14, he too is facing kidney issues. Zookeepers said Nikki will always have a special place in their hearts. 18 months in the Bristol County Jail for a 38-year-old Taunton man who admitted to assaulting his pregnant girlfriend and intimidating her into not talking to prosecutors. 38-year-old Kayvon Ashton assaulted the woman in November. After he serves his time, he'll have another 18 months of probation. Mariners are urged to use caution near Nantucket. New England aquarium researchers spotted 31 endangered right whales in the area, which is a shipping lane in and out of Boston. The whales aren't usually in that busy area during the winter months. As a result of the sighting, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has extended the slow zone in the area for all vessels. MIT researchers found the minimum wage in Massachusetts is not keeping up with the cost of living. According to a new study, the minimum wage needs to be about $28 an hour to cover basic needs. That's $6 an hour more than a year ago. The current minimum wage in Massachusetts is $15 an hour. Donald Trump is the winner of Michigan's Republican primary. Trump easily defeated his main rival Nikki Haley in the state Tuesday after winning in her home state of South Carolina last week. Pope Francis visited a hospital in Rome today after skipping a reading at his general audience at the Vatican. The 87-year-old pontiff has been hospitalized a number of times over the past several years. And Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher calling the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, quote, a load of bollocks. Oasis is one of this year's nominees for induction into the Rock Hall, along with Ozzy Osbourne, Foreigner, and other famous rockers. Nominees also include Mariah Carey and hip-hop groups Eric B. and Rakim and A Tribe Called Quest. And that's what triggered the outspoken Oasis singer. He says, as much as I love Mariah Carey and all that, it's like putting me in the Rap Hall of Fame. In sports, the Celtics beat the Philadelphia 76ers last night 117-99. They're at TD Garden to play the Dallas Mavericks Friday. Spring training rolls on for the Red Sox, who play the Washington Nationals today at 1. And the Boston Bruins play the Vegas Golden Knights Thursday. Traffic and weather next. From the Chart Oak Tavern newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 107.
Fun 107, Michael and Maddie. So we were talking earlier this morning about how 70%, this is a shocking number, 70% of married women out there have a backup plan. Just in case their marriage doesn't go okay, they've got a backup guy in the back of their mind that they're saying, well, that would be who I would, pursue. So I got a text from my wife, by the way. She says, "Don't worry, not me. It's one and done for me." I think she's all set with the marriage game. She says that my wife says girls joke that we will all live in a compound together and all help each other.
Hey, I think that's a great idea.
So, but here, listen, here's the audio. This is shocking audio, I'd say, about this study. Take a listen to this.
You're in a relationship. Should you really have a backup plan? There is new research that shows half of all women have a guy on the back burner just in case things go wrong in their current relationship. Dr. Romy, seriously?
This is the latest psychology research. I was just as shocked reading this data. More than half of women who are married
Happily married women are doing this?
have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've identified.
Person that they've identified, and in most cases it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
All right, ladies, listen. Maddie's not here today, so I want you to be honest with us, completely honest. And if you want, we will change your voice. Just call up and just say, "Hey, I want the voice changer." We'll put that on. Is this true? Is this true? Like 70% of you ladies who are married have a backup plan in case this doesn't work out with your guy?
I'd love to hear at least one person in that 70% pool.
I mean, this is a majority of women out there, apparently. So they've got to be somebody out there listening. You've got that backup plan in the back of your head. Our number is 508-994-1071. Good morning. Is this true?
Hi, good morning. I wanted to throw in my 2 cents about the relationship thing you guys are talking about.
You got it.
So I would never, I'm not married, but I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years. I do not have a backup plan, but I can totally understand why some women do. In past relationships, I did always have a backup plan just because I was the breadwinner in the situation and, you know, they weren't the best partners to be with. But now I'm financially secure enough that if something were to happen, I don't have to look elsewhere to find that support.
Oh, so you're saying in past relationships you were not the breadwinner. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was not. So I always had to worry about that.
So you kind of had to have in the back of your head, you know, if something goes wrong here, I'm going to go talk to Tommy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Tommy used to work on the docks.
And he still does.
He still does. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Did you end up with one of your backup plans?
I did not, no. I found him out of the blue, actually. So it worked out good.
Sounds like you got a good guy there.
Yeah, I do. He's
all right.
Great.
Thanks for calling.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yep, have a good day.
Our number is 508-994-1071, or you can also submit some audio on the Fun 107 app. Lori in New Bedford, you're on Michael and Maddie.
Hi.
Hi, what do you think about this?
No, why would you want to go and jump and put yourself back into another man? Forget it. It's done.
That's what my wife said. She's like, no, it's one and done for me.
If you've been married once or twice already, you already know they're almost all the same.
Yeah, like she said, that they joke about, let's get all the ladies together. They'll live together. They don't need the guys.
Yeah, that's a good idea because we can cook and clean.
Thank you, Lori. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Fun 107, Fun 107, Michael and Maddie. So if you have been to Gillette Stadium or the Garden or Fenway within the past couple of years, you may have noticed that they don't accept cash anymore.
So weird.
So you have to pay with a debit or a credit card. They do take Apple Pay, which I love. I never carry cash personally, ever.
Same.
But it is a cashless, day. When you go out to Fenway or Gillette or something like that, you're not bringing cash. You need to have a card or you're not getting a hot dog.
That's true.
So the Attorney General in Massachusetts is saying you can't do that anymore. They're saying it's against the law. Andrea Campbell says state law requires retail establishments to accept all forms of legal tender, including cash, and such establishments cannot turn away customers because they do not have a credit or a debit card. They only have cash.
These days, I've been trying to keep at least a $20 bill in my wallet, at least there.
I never have money like that. Never.
You know when you go and pay you with your card somewhere and it'll say, hey, do you want cash back? If there's not a 20 in my wallet, I'll get $20 out. But other than that, I'm with you.
I get thrown off on, there are still some like local businesses that only accept cash. And I'm like for example, we were at Vogue yesterday.
Oh, yes.
And you stopped at Gary's Best. I saw you in my rearview mirror.
You got me.
You pulled into Gary's Best as we drove by. They're a cash-only place, and they've got the ATM machine out front.
I mean, it's been a minute since I've been there. Is that ATM new? It's got to be.
I think it's kind of new.
Yeah. But the other place it's No Problemo downtown. They got the ATM too, but they've always been cash. So
I would rather, I mean, honestly, like the cashless thing doesn't bother me. However, I do understand it's really important. If you think about it, it's really important that the Attorney General enforces this, because let's say, okay, you say you can't, cash is not king at Fenway, Gillette, or the Garden. Your cash is not wanted here. If you think about that, theoretically, the value of the cash goes down a little bit, because what do I want that for? I can't spend it at Fenway. So then what if they say you can't spend it at Dunkin'? And then what if they say you can't spend it at Oxford Creamery? The value of the cash will keep going down and down and down because, well, I don't want that.
And then
I want something I can buy something no matter where I am.
There's one more problem. Last week, I went through another hacking ordeal. I had no card. All right. So I had to go to the bank, physically take cash out.
Sure.
If I went somewhere and they're like, oh, nope, sorry, card only, I'm in trouble. What am I going to do? So you got to think about those people, too, who are going through a situation where maybe they're waiting for the new debit card to come in. My wife had to go a couple days out because she changed her name. So she didn't have her debit card until the new one came in.
Bottom line is it should not be a conversation. Like, cash is backed by the government, and it's got to be honored. Period. That's it.
Remember the song Cream?
From Prince?
Well, maybe. But there's a hip-hop song, Cream.
Oh, okay.
Cash rules everything around me.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
You got it.
Wareham Warrior, checking in on the Fun 107 app, says that she was at Walmart in Wareham yesterday, and they weren't accepting cash.
Oh, boy.
Now, before you like, what? We checked into this already because this is like a thing in Wareham. They were buzzing about it yesterday. Apparently the system was down at Walmart in Wareham yesterday where they could not get the change to give back to people.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
There was just a malfunction in like however they get their cash, and that's all.
The drawer
So
stuff.
it wasn't like that. Basically, yeah, the drawer stuff. Basically, it's not like there's a new policy at the Walmart in Wareham that they're not accepting cash. Like they're accepting it today. Back to normal.
Walmart wants all your money.
Yeah,
They don't
absolutely.
care what it is.
Fun one.
Maddie